Good evening, everybody. Parents, grandparents, cousins, uncles, friends, and the class of 2025. Graduation speeches are conventionally an opportunity to give advice. It's a freebie. And it's kind of fun telling people what to do. So I thought rather than finish my speech with advice, I would start with it. Some of it is, you've heard it before. You should do push-ups every week, about 50 every other day. You should floss your teeth every day. You should eat more fiber. And you should put your iPhone away. Now, every generation does stuff to make the older generation shake their heads a little bit. And moms and dads, this year's graduates were no different, and a couple of these things were due to the pandemic. Let me tell you a little bit about these kids. They are late to school way too much. Mr. Filson gives how many? 5, 7? 8 times before you get a detention, because we're generous about Highway 80. What they see is, I got 7 opportunities to go get coffee and still walk in late. Next year, however, you're going to be paying a lot more money to go to the next school, and you might want to think about being a little more punctual. Second thing, moms and dads, these kids have to go to the bathroom all the time. The bell rings in the classroom right after break or lunch, and you can look at the teachers and see if I'm telling the truth or not. And a kid will walk in with a 64-ounce thing of water and say, I gotta go to the bathroom. I said, you just got here. And this is an extension of the pandemic, and it's like, yes, but I really have a need to go. And according to the yearbook, who actually surveyed the class, 48.5% of this class likes the bathroom in St. Joseph's Hall. There are 2 classrooms in St. Joseph's Hall. Everything is on the other side of campus. In the world of fashion, by the way, baggy jeans are in, really baggy jeans. So is wearing Chuck Taylor white shoestrings as belts. Sagging has not faded away. I don't understand why you sag. It's a terrible, terrible look. And lastly, they can't write. They can't handwrite. Cursive is dead. You think this is small. Now in the world of ChatGPT, we can't let them use computers because they just ask Mr. Cheat GPT and they come up with the answers. So we give it to them to write, and it's like Alan Turing trying to decipher German codes in England in 1943. One of you, Reggie, where are you? Stand up, Reggie. Wave to the crowd. Would you, Reggie, in a loud voice, would you tell the audience what your name was in my class? X. His name was X, because after the 4th test and I couldn't figure out whose handwriting it was, I said, never mind, your name is X. Oh, sidebar to the students. This is the way that the colleges have figured out how to stop ChatGPT. Here at UC Berkeley, the sale of blue books is up 80% in the last 2 years. And if you care, this was my blue book from a history course on the French Revolution in 1979. I got a B+. All right, enough of that. Tonight, what I thought I'd do is let you know by example and by the stories that your kids have told me in my American Social History class, some life lessons. In American Social History, which is a class that's not real popular, but it ought to be because it's not about the famous people, it's about you and me, the regular people, the people that actually make the world work. And I asked them to write a paper on an ancestor, parent, grandparent, great-grandparent, to track primarily their work lives, because we were doing labor history. And so this is what they came up with. I wanted to share with what they told me about moms and dads, some of your parents and grandparents. Nia Thompson's grandfather is the Reverend Harold R. Mayberry. Born in St. Louis, served as an AME pastor in Missouri, New Orleans, and ultimately as pastor of the first AME church here in Oakland. Alicia Shaw's great-grandfather served beside Turkish leader, the George Washington of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, in the 1920s. And all I want to do is find out how he served beside him, in the military, in government. Serena Griffin's great-grandfather was killed at the Jeju Massacre of 1948. I'd never heard of it, and I read a lot of books. In 1948, Syngman Rhee, dictator of South Korea, let his troops open fire. 30,000 people died in those riot suppressions. Kai Wiki's grandfather was born in Punjab, India, today's modern Pakistan. At age 12, he was part of the largest mass movement of people in history, 20 million Hindus and Muslims, where 2 million people died in the transit in 1947. He came to America, and he became a world-renowned geneticist. Joseph Bryant's great-grandfather was born in the Philippines in the 19-teens. He earned dual citizenship for both the United States and the Philippines for himself and his children when he joined in 1942 the United States Navy, even though he was too old, and he fought the Japanese for 4 years. Davis Ward's grandfather, Salvatore Salvaggio, known as Big Pa to the family, was born into grinding poverty in Sicily in 1871. Davis wrote in his paper that as faithful Catholics, that poverty did not stop the family from attending Sunday Mass. And because they could not afford dress clothes for all the kids, the eldest son would wear the one family suit to Mass in the morning. The second son would wear that same suit to afternoon Mass, and Big Pa would wear it to Mass in the evening. Ultimately, Salvatore came to America, came through Ellis Island, settled in Manteca, California, picking peaches. During Prohibition, I love this part, he transported wine illegally from San Francisco to New York. Oliver Bankir, his great-great-grandfather Moshe, was a rabbi for the Jewish community of Warsaw, Poland, at the beginning of the last century. Decades later, when the Nazis invaded Poland and packed Warsaw's Jews into the ghetto, his son, realizing that the Nazis were beginning to murder rampantly, his son and his two sons decided to escape. They climbed over a wall in the Jewish ghetto. They jumped down, landed, looked to their left, where they saw Polish policemen, looked to their right, where they saw SS soldiers. They ducked, they got out of the way, and ultimately found their way to freedom. Alexandra Ramirez's abuelita, Epifaya, I hope I said your name right, immigrated to Los Angeles in 1968 during the Bracero program, where she found stable work at a factory. Alex wrote, "The factory work was grueling, consisting of long hours on her feet, repetitive handiwork, and little room for rest. But she still speaks of those days with such tenderness, as though each stitch she sewed stitched together a more secure future for her family." Finally, Melissa Perez wrote about her dad, who immigrated as a teenager from Michoacan to Richmond, California in 1986. He stepped into a country where he did not speak the language, did not know the streets, and did not have a plan beyond one promise: to work. Now my dad is owner of A. Perez Painting. I have gone with him to job sites before. He taught me how to hold a roll of painter's tape just right, how to sand a surface until it's smooth, how to rinse out a brush properly so it lasts. Some people might think my dad's story is nothing special, but to me, it is everything. He did not have anyone to catch him if he fell. He did not speak perfect English. He did not go to college. But because of him, I know what it means to keep showing up, even when you feel scared or unsure. I understand that success is not about instant results, but about steady progress. I understand that work, when done with care and purpose, can be a form of love. Again, graduation is for speeches and all that, and yes, eat more fiber and floss your teeth daily, but follow your family. You've got the opportunity now, as we send you out into the world, to begin your life. Now it's your turn to enter the world and live the lives to make your descendants proud. We love you. We will miss you. Go Panthers. Congratulations.